It's a November to remember, and you're starting it off on the right foot. You're with the crown jewel of pro wrestling podcasts with this guy, the Angry Geek, Lewis Perry. He's got the championship belt. It's me. You can see the ink behind me, Inksling and Jack Purcell. And we're coming to you starting off November. We're going to be talking to you about two guests we have coming up shortly and a review of AEW Dark and Rampage. And we're going to talk about the crown jewel premium event happening this weekend at noon.
No spoilers, because I ain't gonna be here. I know I spoil crap for everybody else, but I'm gonna be kissing elbows and chicken babies or some crap like that. I'm gonna be at Rhode Island Comic Con doing the Angry Geeks thing, so I'm gonna miss Crown Jewel. And I know that I spoil crap for everybody a lot, and I don't mean to. So I don't want to see anything about Roman going to jail for murder. So just be quiet until I get home on Monday sometime, because I can't see nothing. And Eric says, "Good evening, gentlemen." Good evening, Eric. I'm not going to be around, though. Myself, the two boys, we are not going to be able to see Crown Jewel. So no spoilers at all, because I'm going to be doing the thing. And there is a couple connections here at Rhode Island. I'm going to be hanging out. I'm going to be on stage with Stephen Amell. He's a big wrestling fan. And we're going to be talking about heels and Green Arrow. So I am going to be whatever. Oh, Neil says my reverb. What are you talking about, reverb? Oh, because I had the voice changer on. That's fine. Thank you, son. And he says, "Father, your reverb is on, and it's so echoey." And also, hey, Uncle Jack.
Hey, Neil. Hey, Chris. Hey,
Thank
Eric.
you, son. I appreciate it. And hello, Chris. How are you? Happy November to you.
Chris, we're about a month away from seeing you, too.
Yes, we are. We're going to be hanging out there with a couple of people from one of our sponsors and partner, BST. I was going to say BTW. BST. No. Yeah, I know. Blood, sweat, and tears.
That's right.
Oh, man. A blast, man. I'm going to have a blast. I'm jacked up, getting ready to go. I got to just keep an eye on the ticker, and I'm ready, man. Ready. But no spoilers.
Okay, no spoilers, but we could talk predictions. We're going to talk predictions.
Yeet!
And I will say I was 100% accurate with my predictions for the last WWE premium event. I've got it all documented, so I can provide that for you if you want. But we'll see. I just so happened to predict the storylines they were going to pull off, and I may not do it twice in a row, but anyway, we'll talk a little bit about some AEW that I was at recently.
Yes, definitely.
Eric Hunting says, "Congratulations to Jay Freddy, new Grind Grand Champion." Yeah, Eric, we're going to be talking about
I called it.
Yeah. I had a hard time imagining Travis Huckabee was going to lose, especially with Mike Skyros, but Jay Freddy pulled it off.
But I called it. And Chris Hebert says, "Can't wait for BST in the house at Collecticon." Yeah. They are. Now, I just had Kevin from BST on the Angry Geeks while we were doing comics and coffee down at Alternate Universe New Haven. And some of the boys from BST are going to be on pretty soon, aren't they, Jack?
They are. As a matter of fact, let's talk about that real quick right now. So I was wanting to mention this last week, but I didn't have a date 100%. Eric Hunting says lots of shenanigans in that match. Yeah, I'll bet. And I bet it's not over either. We're going to see some more shenanigans coming up. But we've got guests from Blood, Sweat, and Tears for the next 2 weeks. We actually have the voice of Blood, Sweat, and Tears. We've got Harry Devia, which I hope I'm saying your last name correctly, Harry.
You are.
But that's going to be awesome. Harry's a really cool dude. Had a chance to hang out with him a few times. Really looking forward to talking with him. So Harry's going to be our guest next week on the 8th. The following week, we actually have the Blood, Sweat, and Tears champion, Lucas Chase, is going to be.
Oh, I refuse.
You refuse?
Yep.
Why? Did he refuse your managerial services?
No. He's being managed by a very good friend of mine, Honest Abe. Honest guy, Honest Abe. But I think Lucas Chase has been hearing that I want JD Drake to take the championship, to take the strap off of him. And yeah, so that's who I'm. I'm my money's on JD Drake.
Well, I just talked to JD Drake yesterday, so maybe we can get JD Drake on here if Tony Khan approves it.
Yeah, Tony Khan will prove it. He's a friend of mine.
Oh, hey, I didn't know that.
Yeah, I
Nice.
called him.
Oh, man, you're like rubbing elbows with all the stars.
Is Tony with a C or a K? Because I got so many Tonys in my phone. I got Uncle
Yeah,
Tony.
we
I
got to
got
work
Little
on the spelling.
Tony. I got Tony Storm. I mean, ooh, so well, you can't see that picture. I got. Oh, never mind.
Rose is listening. Watch your step. Watch your step.
She's the one who sent me the picture.
You married the right woman. But Lucas Chase is not only, we're going to be talking about this, but I saw Lucas Chase at AEW. He was there when they were taping Dark, and we're going to have him on the 15th, which is the Tuesday before. Not only he is going to be defending the belt against JD Drake of AEW and PWG and every other company fame, Pro Wrestling Grind, but on Saturday, he is going to be making his Blitzkrieg Pro debut on Saturday in Enfield, Connecticut at Mercy Me.
Yep, and I saw his opponent, but I cannot remember who. Lucas J. He is also he's fighting somebody else. That fighting is a new term in pro wrestling. A lot of talent are not using the word wrestling anymore. I'm not performing with. I am not wrestling with. They are now using the word fighting. I am fighting this guy. Who is Lucas fighting? I just saw it.
I don't remember them announcing it. Wow, maybe you're a
No,
step ahead of
I
me.
saw Lucas
Really?
on his Instagram page. He is fighting someone, and it says, "I am fighting this guy." Can't remember who it was, but it's someone with a reputation that Lucas is going to be fighting, and I was like, "Holy cow, that's going to be a match to remember."
Wow, it's not on the Blitzkrieg Pro page.
Nope. It is on Lucas's actual Instagram page, and I cannot remember for the life of me now who he is going to be fighting.
I'll look it up. But you know what? We should mention it while we're at it. We mentioned Blitzkrieg Pro. They're going to be at Restival this year where they weren't able to be there last year because of the pandemic and everything. But they have announced that Alec Price is going one-on-one with Alex Shelley at Restival.
Ooh, that's going to be a banger.
That's going to be a banger.
Anything that Alex Price is in is just something else.
Yeah, the guy's on another level. He really is. I'm looking at Lucas Chase's page right here, and I see nothing for Blitzkrieg Pro.
Really?
I think you're hallucinating.
No, I don't think I am.
It's not Twitter right now. Because Eric Redbeard's going to be there, but I don't think they've named an opponent for him.
No, I saw something that really caught my eye, and now I cannot remember who I saw Lucas. Oh, maybe it was this it's an older one when he was gonna wrestle Rhino? Maybe? I don't know. Maybe it was something old.
Okay, yeah, well, we got a false alarm there, but we'll find out. We'll let everybody know.
False alarm. Maybe yeah. Maybe.
We'll let everybody know when we find out. But anyway, the bottom line is Lucas Chase is going to be here with us on the 15th. Really looking forward to talking with him. He seems like a really good dude, really an excellent performer, excellent fighter. So we're looking forward to talking with him.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. And then, of course, he was on AEW Dark.
He was.
A while ago. Yeah.
Yeah, he's been on a few times. But he was on at Mohegan Sun, where I'm sorry to tell everyone that the universe was not cooperating with my son and I, who were on our way down. We're going to get tickets at the show the day of. We were directly across from the camera in the lower section, but we ended up getting there an hour and a half later than I expected. So we were 3 rows from the back.
3 rows from the back.
Yeah, not easy to see. Didn't make for great visibility.
Oh.
I mean, we had good seats. We were perfectly happy, but you couldn't see us on TV very well.
Oh well.
I know you were scanning the crowd, and everyone's going to be watching AEW Dark tonight, which is, by the way, stacked, like really stacked show.
Really? All right. So, what was the mystery card? What was going on there?
Yeah,
What
it was
was?
it was weird. They did basically 2 hours of Dark, so I think they're going to do an extra bonus Dark that must be happening. Maybe it's this weekend or something. They'll drop it, but it was loaded. They had tons of stuff, and they had one match where I don't know if it'll be on Dark or not, but it was a Ring of Honor championship match. So Daniel Garcia defended the ROH Pure title against Brock Anderson with Arn Anderson lumbering at ringside. And then they had the judges sitting there and all that. And, I got to tell you, like, sorry, I'm not trying to be negative, but I'm just not into Brock Anderson as a wrestler. And the match was better than it had any right to be. I think, Daniel Garcia largely responsible for it, but pretty good match. So I don't know if that's going to be part of Dark or if that's being taped for something else. But it was basically 2 hours of Dark. And there were a couple of matches that are going to be on tonight that were standouts. Ray Phoenix had a match with AR Fox that was so insane. You've got to see it. I'm just recommending, even if you fast forward and only watch one match, it wasn't all that long. It was like 5 minutes. That match tore the house down. So AR Fox against Ray Phoenix, incredible. I would strongly recommend you watch it. And I know you're an Orange Cassidy hater, but Orange Cassidy and Best Friends in a trios match against Ari Daivari, Sonny Kiss, and Tony Deppen. And VSK wasn't there, which I thought was weird.
Really?
Wow. Yeah, but it was a great match. That was an awesome trios match. And you know what they say, Lewis? You got to give the people what they want.
Yeah. So why isn't VSK there?
I know. I was bummed out. But Tony Deppen, it was cool that he was there. He was part of it. So that match you should really watch because there was a little bit of storyline going on that I thought was really fun. So make sure you watch those two matches. If you don't watch all of it, Tony Storm had a title match, which was very good. Danhausen had a kind of a weird match against an enhancement talent. Yeah, it wouldn't have been your bag for sure. And you probably watched Rampage, but I gotta say, I thought it was so funny that AEW is trying to pump up the match between Tay Melo, I guess they call her now, Tay Conti, and her opponent, who what was her name, Madison Rain. God, it was horrible. It was really a painful match to watch.
I heard.
And I wouldn't even mention it if it wasn't for the fact that AEW is pumping it up like they tore the house down. I was like, guys,
really?
If I were you, I wouldn't be putting a spotlight on that match. It was a snore, and it was awful. Eric Hunting says Kennedy Copeland against Mia Shafir. Yes, and Kennedy Copeland actually wrestled twice on that show, so you'll see her on both episodes that they taped at Mohegan Sun in Connecticut. But oh my God, there were some awesome matches, some really good trio stuff. There were some solid matches all around. Encore made his AEW debut. So if you're a wrestling, so if you're a wrestling open fan viewer, you get to see Encore. He was great. He did a really nice job. A lot of the wrestlers who were advertised weren't there, which was a bummer. But Mox had his match against the 2.0 guy there. It was good enough. It did what it had to do. Wardlow against Matt Taven was awesome, and you probably saw that on Rampage. Great match. Really, really loved it.
And it's lately anything that Wardlow does is awesome. I mean, the dude is just he knows how to work over the crowd. He knows how to work the crowd. The guy's just awesome, and he's just he knows how to perform. And the guy gets into the ring. He makes himself look good. He makes his opponents look good. So yeah, anything that guy does is just awesome.
Yeah, and I'll tell you who else was absolutely impressive as always. And I think we got to see more of, because there's been long periods where he hasn't been present at all. But Brian Cage was in a trios match, and now Brian Cage is going to be taking on Samoa Joe for the Ring of Honor belt this week on Dynamite, and that's going to be awesome. Brian Cage, man, when you see him in person, is even more impressive than when you see him on TV.
Wow.
Yeah, really incredible.
My question for you though, you got there late. You were sending me photos. How was the crowd? It didn't look like it was that packed.
It wasn't anywhere near sold out. I think that the count for the crowd was about 4,000, which is okay,
Ooh,
Well,
ooh,
that's the smallest arena in the area. It's smaller
yeah,
than the Mullins Center. It's like
yeah.
6,000. So I mean, that was okay.
Okay, I mean, wow. That's did they move people around to make it look crowded?
No,
Um,
no.
no. Oh, wow.
No, it was pretty well distributed. The lower tier was pretty well sold out. I mean, on the side there were some empty
Yeah.
seats, and then the top tier there were people scattered throughout. I think it had enough people there; they didn't have to move anyone around. It was okay. I mean, honestly, I've been looking at some of the numbers for both WWE and AEW, both the TV tapings and the house shows. A lot of the shows they don't even have 2,000 seats sold for them. So, I mean, AEW Dynamite could have 3 to 4,000.
Okay.
It depends. I think it depends on a lot of things. The talent that was advertised, a lot of them weren't there too, which I think, it's kind of disappointing. Although I think with a company with such a loaded, huge roster, you can kind of look past it. But Wheeler Yuta, Cesaro, MJF, Jericho, Hook, none of those guys were there. So it was kind of a bummer.
Yeah. Well, Cesaro was traveling. He went to
Sheamus' wedding.
Sheamus's wedding. Um, MJF, he will be at Rhode Island Comic Con this weekend. Um, Same thing with Billy Gunn or Daddy Ass.
Right.
Was your buddy there? Mark Sterling, Smart Mark.
No, no, he was not there.
Really? A local not even there. Wow.
Yeah, it was weird.
That's
VSK and him weren't there, and the Acclaim didn't even wrestle. They just came down and had a little program where they did that funny video package with Swerve Strickland and Daddy Ass.
okay.
Yeah,
Wow.
it was weird.
That's
It was odd. There were a number of guys. Even Sammy Guevara didn't wrestle. He just walked down, and he was actually the best part of that match with Tay
with
Melo.
Ty. Okay.
Yeah, I mean, God, that match really abominable. I was surprised that it was so bad. Um, but yeah, Sammy Guevara was cool that he was there. But I mean, he's entertaining just wandering around the ring and jaw jacking with fans. But God, man, I was so disappointed with that match because I thought it would be special because Madison Rain's a trainer, and aren't you looking to showcase your work? I don't know. It
Yeah.
it was just slow and sloppy and botchy, and it was too bad. And unfortunately, there looked to be an injury. I don't know how serious it was, but once again, Athena working stiff with MLK. And there
Yeah.
was a point where she got hit in the sternum. I don't know exactly what it was, but she kind of crumpled in the middle of the ring and like didn't move. And Athena just turned her over and pinned her. And she stayed like that after the match. And they actually had a doctor come out to walk her back to ringside. Or sorry, to the back from ringside. So it was legit on some level. I hope she's not hurt too badly, but I don't know if part of this is a work or they're trying to make Athena look like she's out of control or working stiff. I don't know if there's something behind it, but it seems like it's a trend.
Well, yeah, it definitely is a trend. Even while she worked in NXT and WWE as Ember Moon, she is stiff. I mean, she's just as bad as Nia Jax for crying out loud.
Oh,
She, in my personal opinion, she is a train off the rails. She is. She's like every match she has, she's botching, and every match she has, she's either going to hurt herself or hurt somebody else. I mean, it's like Queen Botch. Just watch, she's going to hurt somebody or hurt her. She already hurt herself once when we all thought she had to retire.
right.
It's just a matter of time before she does really legitimately hurt somebody or hurt herself badly. Um, Eric comes up with a comment.
Eric says Athena was very heelish last night on Elevation. I've noticed that, Eric. That's why I wonder if this is a storyline. I hope that Little Mean Kathleen wasn't really beat up. But speaking of Little Mean Kathleen, we often associate her with Teddy Goods. Teddy
Mhm.
Goods got a huge pop, and the crowd was doing a Teddy chant during his trios match. It was awesome.
Cool. Cool. It's nice to see again indies being appreciated by the crowd because even when AEW was in Worcester, Shook Crew came out. I mean, well, Bobby Orlando, we had Bryce. The place was going nuts for them. But when we saw it on television, we didn't hear none of that, you know? So it was just, it's amazing. And even when little Mean Kathleen, when she was out, we were all cheering for her. And later on, broadcast, we you know, you don't hear that. They censor everything. So it's so cool to hear, you know, our friends in the ring getting cheered for. The place goes nuts for them, but it's like, oh, quiet, oh, no, no, no. And I just think it's pretty cool. Using that as a segue, once again, Sami Zayn just pulls it out of his rear end. The latest segment with the bloodline, he is winning fans for the bloodline week after week after week. Did you see the latest segment and what he did where he made everyone break character?
I didn't see the whole segment. I saw clips, but yeah, it looked like it was the shit.
Oh my god. I mean, Heyman started laughing, Roman started laughing. Uh Jimmy was laughing so bad he had to cover his face with the championship belts. They couldn't even put the camera on Solo. They kept the camera away from him, and Jay had to keep covering his face, especially when Roman was supposed to be chastising him. They couldn't do it, and at the end of the skit, Roman just walked away, just walked out of the ring. What I and Bill Anderson says Sammy makes me feel oozy. I have to now, from what I was doing a lot of reading on this. Supposedly, this whole skit, this whole storyline, this whole angle was supposed to end months ago, but it is so white hot right now. They're riding this wave. People are embracing the bloodline when they're supposed to be hating them. Myself, I'd never liked the bloodline. I was like, no, it's you know, get rid of them. Da, da, da. I never even liked Sami Zayn. I used to tell Jack that, my God, the guy's stupid. I can't get enough of these guys. They make me laugh so much. Yes, Eric, I totally agree. Eric says, keep it alive. It is super red hot. The whole thing is the second Sammy opens his mouth, it is so funny. And even they did a backstage clip, and Jay was laughing hysterically because Sammy was sitting there. And it reminded me of one of the scenes in the movie Hooper. I'm not sure if you remember Hooper, where Burt Reynolds was talking to James Best. And he goes, I want to go to the Palomino Club. You want to go to the Palomino Club? But instead of the Palomino Club, he's talking about the Waffle House. And Jimmy's laughing. He's like, oh my God. They like to go to the Waffle. We're going to go to dinner, but we're going to go to the Waffle House because they like the Waffle House. And it was just the funniest thing in the world. But during the SmackDown, what happened at SmackDown was he just kept, I don't think he's oozy enough. He doesn't feel oozy. And everyone started laughing. And even Heyman walked over and like giggles in his face and put his hand on Sammy to try to tell him to be quiet. The crowd starts chanting. So you see Jimmy Uso is telling the crowd to shut up. He's like doing this to the crowd to be quiet. The crowd is just going crazy, and Sammy is just the mastermind that he is keeping a straight face and just digging and digging and digging. Roman's doing all he can to keep a straight face, but he's laughing. What I want to know is I want to see the footage because you know they're recording this. When they walk past Gorilla, I want to see them all gang up on Sammy, what they say to him, and them busting a gut because you know it has to be hilarious backstage. You know they all have to be just extremely on the floor, rolling and calling Sammy every name under in the book and underneath the stars for making them all break character. Bill comes in with a comment.
Yeah,
Jack.
Bill Anderton. They gotta ride this thing until the wheels come off, and it needs to end with Sammy hoisting the titles over a fallen Roman. I think you're right, Phil.
Ooh,
I mean, how could it not be heading to a Sami Zayn versus Roman Reigns? I don't understand how they could waste this.
yeah. I mean, it's keep it going because it's just insane. It's insane on how popular it is. And the honorary Oos t-shirt is like the number one selling t-shirt right now, they said. How could they not? It is definitely white hot. And it's just, I mean, people are just tuning in just to see this. And it's just crazy. And they're chanting Sammy's name when he comes out. It's just insane.
Yeah, I mean,
And
I love it.
insane as
Insane.
Bill
Ah,
says.
Bill, you're good. You're good.
I'm digging it. I really am. And when they ripped the shirt off of Sammy a couple weeks ago, you felt everyone was sad. I was like, oh, come on.
Yeah,
And
no, it
it
was
was,
really well done.
yeah, I know. I got to give him props, man. It was just fantastic.
The product has changed so dramatically, like we've talked about. And again, I don't think you need a crystal ball to figure it out, but it's exactly what we expected. Now, Monday Night Raw, I rarely would watch. I mean, for a long time, I watched none of it, but I watched, I don't know, maybe like an hour and a half of it last night. It was very good. It was really entertaining, really good wrestling. That main event was incredible with the new tag champs. Awesome match.
I did not see any of it. I just read the highlights to the Sports Illustrated. I don't even read Sports Illustrated. I just get new. I don't, but it comes up.
I would
It's so cool
imagine
that
not.
Sports Illustrated it covers this, so it pops up. You know, I go to check my email, and it pops up, and it's like number one right now trending. Here you go, and it's like, when was the last time you seen the head of the WWE run out and separate talent? When I saw Triple H get in between uh, Lesnar and Bobby Lashley and says, "You're done, get out of here," and I was like, "Oh my god, this is going back to Austin Brett." That was this is what you miss. This is what this is so cool. Triple H screaming at both of them. You know, get him back there. You go over there. You're done. You're fired. That's the stuff that we like. That's the stuff that the old school guys like. The newer fans were just eating it up, going crazy. It was awesome. Plus, the whole I'm not going to say it's an upset, but the title change and showcasing the women's tag team championship was brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. And but where does that leave the theory of the new Wyatt family? Because everyone's expecting Alexa to go back and be the new version of Sister Abigail. Or is it going to be Liv Morgan? But everyone is expecting Alexa because we all know Alexa and Bray Wyatt. I mean, they were like a power couple. They did the thing. They were perfect together. They worked together. They were great partners in the ring. Where does that leave that now? We were all hoping for it on Alexa's. I'm going to get to Joe McDonald's comment in a second, but on Alexa's Instagram page for the past few days, she's been doing a lot of teasing. She's been holding Lily, she's been holding something else, throwing it in the air, and then she's ending up with Lily with face paint on her eyes or around her eyes. She's been doing a lot of teasing. Maybe that's all it is. Don't know. You don't know what's going on.
Keep in
Joe's
mind that Bray Wyatt is a faction. This whole thing they're setting up is a faction.
for the new Wyatt family,
So
correct?
is it impossible that Asuka's a member of that as well as Alexa Bliss?
Ooh, yes, because they're all new characters. Yes, we know that because they're saying now the Captain Howdy is based on Barry Windham, Bray Wyatt's cousin, great uncle.
Something like that. Yeah.
Joe McDonald says Liv will be the new Abigail. Um, maybe not. I don't know. Liv, to me, she always looked like a throwback lady of the evening that worked on the scrambled channels. So I don't see her as that. I'm sorry. I do not see Liv as that. No, I don't. Sorry, Joe. I love you to death, but I do not see Liv as a part of that faction. I don't. I do not.
I also
Wow, Eric just can come back and says, well,
I
she
also don't
does.
see
I'm
Asuka as
sorry.
part of it either. So I mean, I think Asuka could be a potential pleasant surprise because I mean, seeing her in her former glory as a killer wrestler, I mean, maybe
Mhm.
this is what she needs. Maybe her and Alexa Bliss will be part of this new faction. It could work.
Maybe it could. It really could. Now, I people are also saying that Dexter Loomis will be a part of it, but I don't see that. I see the Way getting back together. I see Indy coming, getting called up, and I see the Way getting back together. That's what I
Absolutely.
see.
Right.
You,
Right.
you, you know,
Yeah.
um, and
Joe
Joe
McDonald says
says,
they need to
"Yeah,
sign Vincent and Dutch. They've been
well then,
backstage, maybe.
yeah, well then they got to bring in Vita. Maybe Vita. Oh, that would be that. That will be a faction. Yeah, that's definitely what they have to do." And Joe also says, "What?
It's just the way they have been portraying Liv as a crazy person post Ronda. I think they're just desperate with Liv. She didn't work out as a face, so they got to do something to make her like the hardcore crazy person. It makes sense what you're saying, Joe. I just don't see her having. I don't know. I don't think there'd be much mileage on that gimmick if they include her in the
No,
Wyatt
I think
faction.
what they did was what they were trying to do with Liv. Maybe get sympathy for her and the whole thing with the she tapped, she pinned, it backfired. That's in my opinion. That's what happened. And they were either trying to get sympathy or something, and it backfired badly. So now they're trying to make her into a tough guy. And I think that whole storyline just spiraled out of control and it did not work. So it just backfired. So now they have to build her up instead of being a crybaby. They have to do something and say, okay, I'm a tough guy, yada, yada, yada. Because I really think the whole angle that they were going for backfired. It was
Right.
just, yeah.
Joe McDonald says, I agree on the
Okay.
mileage factor. I just think creative might be trying to do something different to keep her in the fans' eyes. It could be, Joe, but I mean, think about what creative's doing right now. Now, if I was to tell you 1 year ago today on the Faces and Heels podcast that WWE is allowing Shinsuke Nakamura to go to Noah, Japan to wrestle the Great Muta, you would have thought I had a concussion. Like it just couldn't be
Yeah.
possible. There's no way that was going to happen. Triple H is allowing that dream match to happen because you know what? The guy loves wrestling. That's
Yeah.
amazing. So who knows? Creatives all over the place. I don't rule a whole lot out at this point. So yeah,
Well, okay. Let's get to Eric's comment, then we're going to talk about that Forbidden Door.
Eric says they need to be careful. They are going to get faction heavy. I like the OC. I like the factions. I don't know if it's a
Yeah,
bad thing.
I do too. Well, we did get faction heavy a long time ago. We had the Disciples of the Apocalypse. We had the Nation of Domination. We had DX. We had a bunch of them before,
Job
and
squad.
Job Squad. Yeah, we the Blue World Order when they came in from ECW. I liked it. I did. I thought it was good. Nation of Domination when they had everybody, including PG-13, Wolfie D, and what was the other kid? Wolfie D and Scuzzy D, and yes, and the Los Pericos. Yeah,
Yeah. Right.
yeah, they
Nice.
had a bunch of factions, and I really think it was good. Um, and Joe McDonald is here saying,
He says, I agree. Did I ever see the Bullet Club back together and Balor referencing how he built that club? It's all good stuff, man. I love that.
yeah, Eric, I did reference them as PG-13, but they were Wolfie D and Ice something. I was trying to say the two tag team name. I could just remember Wolfie D because they were both just ridiculous.
Yeah, I can
Uh,
visualize and I can't remember the name.
Yeah. Now, Vince tried to open the Forbidden Door when he had the luchadors come in, Cybernico and Mil Mascaras' son. He tried to do that. He also tried to do it in New Japan, but he didn't allow them to win. He didn't allow them to do anything. They came into the Royal Rumble and then they all got tossed out. Nothing actually ever happened. He brought Tai and Kai, also another faction that we had. He brought in Taka Michinoku, JC Ice. Thank you, Joe. JC I knew it was Ice something, but there were PG-13 was so memorable. I couldn't remember him. Even me, I couldn't remember him. How about that? I could not remember him, but last night I could remember a movie about reincarnation, but I couldn't remember that tag team. That tells you how good they are. The reincarnation of Peter Proud. I just pulled that out of my ass. Don't forget RTC. I can't even forget Techno Team 2000. And you want me to forget RTC? Anyway, I forgot what I was talking about.
You were talking about the Forbidden Wall. Or
Yeah,
Forbidden Door. Sorry.
Forbidden Door. Vince, right to censor.
Right
Thank
to
you.
Most annoying entrance of all time.
It was just I don't know. I really looked pretty hot as that school teacher with the ruler. Never mind. Anyway, hi Rose. Vince didn't allow them to actually do anything, and that was what aggravating. They pumped you up, and then they just went away, and it was just stupid. And you know, they played the music. Oh, we're gonna have Cyber Indigo. We're gonna have this guy, and then Bret Hart was talking. Jungle. Oh, their masks look like they are jock straps or something like that. Well, but that was the biggest thing you can say, and they didn't do anything. It's like, my God. They brought in Hakushi, and he's gonna fight Bret. Oh, holding up the head of Bret Hart. Oh, they have one match. Okay, whatever. Just stupid.
Right.
But maybe Hunter open up the Forbidden Door, and we're gonna see some crap. We're gonna see some stuff, and maybe, just maybe, we'll see, oh, okay, this guy's going to be put over. This guy's going to be put over. A WWE guy is going to be put over that guy. It's going to be fantastic. That's what I'm really hoping.
I mean, listen to this. This is not far-fetched anymore. What if we finally see the dream match of Will Ospreay versus Seth Rollins? Now, Will Ospreay we've seen on AEW, but he's not all elite. Imagine if Triple H gets Will Ospreay to come do a program with Seth Rollins for WrestleMania.
Oh, that would be that will be a thing of beauty.
It'd be unbelievable, but it could happen. It's truly a possibility.
It will steal the show.
Big time.
Absolutely steal the show. It would.
Here's one thing that we have still happening, which I'm just going to mention quickly because it's a sad thing, but we were dealing with tons of mass exoduses from WWE with Vince in charge, and he was letting go 50 wrestlers at a time. We had tons
he had
of
a
people
big bill to pay, man. I mean, come on.
Yeah, he sure did. But we just had a group of releases that may not be done right now from NXT. But before fans get all anti-Triple H and he's just like Vince and all this, that's already kind of the rumblings with the negative minorities on Twitter and all the other social media. This has been happening all along. NXT has tons of people that they try to develop who just don't make it to TV. So before people get all freaked out, it happens, and it's been happening, and it will continue to happen. But we have one of the Northeast wrestlers who was in NXT development, the notorious Mimi, who was let go. So she's somebody who we're familiar with here in the Northeast. But that name on the list of names, unfortunately, may continue to be unveiled over the next couple of days.
Well, you got to look at it this way. NXT is development. You're going there to develop. When you go to work for someone, you got your 90 days. So maybe NXT has a different thing to that 90 days. You don't work out within that 90 days, it's like a return policy. We can get rid of you. No matter where you go. You can work at the Walmart, the Target, work at a shop, work anywhere. You have that 90 days. Maybe the WWE also has that in their contract. If you're not cutting it, we can get rid of you. So it's just a fact of life. If you not performing to expectations, they got to trim the fat so they can bring somebody else in. That's just the way it happens. You can't say, oh, point the finger. Oh, that guy was good. This guy. maybe you think they're good. Maybe I think they're good. Maybe we all think they're good. But if the powers that be don't think they're any good, they're going to trim the fat. They got to get ready because maybe the next big thing or someone they think is the next big thing is just waiting to bring them up. So that's just the way it is. That's a fact of life. If you don't make that 90 days or whatever, hit the road. I mean, that's just a fact of life. So
Yeah.
just,
I think they do
don't,
6-month reviews in NXT, so that
yeah,
may have been the 6 months for this particular
e- e-
group.
yeah, exactly. I mean, there's a lot to this. It's just not in ring skill. You got to be able to cut a promo. You got to be able to react to the crowd. You got to be able to do a lot of stuff. So you could be sick in the ring. You could be able to do a lot, but if you can't do something specific, you're gonna, you're just not cutting the mustard. You're gone. Like, think about this: AEW, Abaddon, tremendous talent, good worker, everything. We don't see her. We hardly ever see her. Why? Because her promos are probably so bizarre and out there. They don't put her on TV, but they're keeping her there. So we don't know.
It may just be a time and place. They may have a moment where, hey, we
Exactly.
need somebody like that, and they'll call her in. So who knows? She's being patient. Look at Brian Cage. He's established, and we
Yep.
didn't see him for like, I don't know, 4 months.
Yep. And then you have bad boy Joey Janela. That you had
Right.
him there, then he's gone. You just don't know what's going to happen. Eric comes back with another comment.
Eric says, and it's not bad because they get to say formerly seen on NXT. Absolutely.
Exactly.
You get the
Yes.
rub.
And Joe comes in and says it wasn't like Black Friday.
Right. No, you're right, Joe. It wasn't.
Yeah, you're right, Joe. So I mean, it's just, hey, it's not like it's budget cuts. It's just like, hey, you're not cutting it. Here you go. Let's give somebody else a try. It's not like they're trimming the fat. They're just, here you go. Got to give somebody else a try. You know.
Right. So there's that. But we
Yeah.
should also mention the crown jewel, just kind of run through the card real quick because that is happening at noon. We're not going to spoil it for you, Lewis. I promise I'm not going to text you at Rhode Island Comic Con because
I
I know
can't
you're going to
answer the
be there.
phone. That'd be kind of rude. I'd be sitting there with Stephen Amell. So,
Yeah.
Stephen, season 2 of Heels is coming up. Oh, excuse me. This is Jack Purcell. I need to take the call because he's important. No, that
Yeah.
ain't gonna work.
Should have been like,
That
yeah,
comes
ever
in.
heard of Batman? Taking the
He
call,
worked
Green
on Green
Arrow.
Arrow. No.
I worked on Green Arrow too. Tell him that. All right. Um, so crown jewel, we have a pretty decent card. There's 7 matches. I'm guessing we'll be getting more. And here we are in Saudi Arabia again. Really interesting. This is still happening. But Roman Reigns against Logan Paul, regardless of what you think about the Paul brothers, Logan Paul is better than he has any right to be. This could be a great match.
I just want to see him die.
Aw, you're wishing death
I
on
don't.
him.
Why? Think about it. Nobody likes him. Every time he walks out, they boo him. Everybody boos him
I don't boo him.
because yes, you do.
No,
And like
he's
Sami Zayn
great.
said, he's one big number 2. And
He's annoying. I mean, he's got
yes,
a
he is.
punchable face, but I don't dislike him because
Yes,
of it. He's a
and
great heel.
but he's not even supposed to be a heel.
Right.
He's supposed. But that's the thing. Even with the Miz, it backfired on them so bad. They wanted him. They wanted him so badly to be the baby face over the Miz, and it didn't work because everyone was with the Miz. Everyone was cheering for the Miz over him. It's not going to work. I guarantee it. Logan Paul is going to go away. He is not going to get over whatsoever. He the new Lacey Evans. Even if
Oh,
they put him in the ring against Lacey Evans, the crowd would cheer for Lacey Evans finally. So that's the way to get her over because they don't like him. They don't. Oh my God! My stress thing is going off.
yeah.
I
Calm
can
down.
feel it.
Calm down. Let me bring you
My
back to earth
God.
here. We got the
My God.
OC against the Judgment Day in a trios match.
I'm gonna say the Judgment Day. I'm really digging them, and right now Dominic is hot. Dominic is so hot right now, and they are working wonders with that kid, and he is super hot with that Latino heat. Super, super hot. Eric is coming back with another comment.
Roman will be
will be.
doing the heavy lifting in this one. We'll
Oh,
see. I
for
mean,
sure.
have you guys seen this dude Logan Paul's matches? I mean, he's been really impressive. You didn't like his in-ring work?
Okay, but you got to look at it this way. You and I are in a match. Me and Joe McDonald, me and Eric are in a match. It's my job to make those guys look good. It's their job. It's your job to make me look good. They had him in there with the Miz, for crying out loud. Come on. The Miz will make a bag of popcorn look good. Rey Mysterio will make a friggin' a piece of fruit look good. Okay? It all depends on who's in the ring. I agree with Eric 100%. Roman's going to do all the heavy lifting and cave that guy's head in.
Wow.
Okay?
Wow.
Yes.
Oh,
Yeah. Yes, Axel, I did, and it was pretty amazing
forgettable.
that she did that. No, I don't think so. I don't. Again, another faction.
Yeah.
And
Good.
Joe McDonald, Dominic with Rhea is almost as creepy as Buddy Murphy and Ray's daughter. No, I don't think so. I'm not
Oh, I
viewing
like
it
them
as.
together.
Yeah, I do too. I don't see it as creepy, not at all. I like it, and it's making Dominic more hateable. It's making Rio definitely more hateable, and it's just it's making Dominic Super more and more hot, and they're kind of bringing it to the whole Eddie China thing. If you really think about it, it's very reminiscent of Eddie and China. So
Well,
I'm definitely liking it.
it's serving a purpose too. It, like you
Yes,
said,
it is.
Dominic has gotten super hot heel heat. Rhea has gotten in there slamming Doc Gallows. She's now been elevated to a new level of badass where you could see her in a
Exactly.
one-on-one match in a mixed gender match. I love what they're doing. I mean, I
Me
think Buddy
too.
Murphy and Rey Mysterio's daughter was legitimately creepy and didn't like it, but
Yeah.
I think this works. Like this is actually for a reason. They're doing something.
It,
They're building characters and elevating them.
yes. And like I said, it is the second coming of Eddie and China. God bless both. And I'm digging it because it's like, wow, this works. It really, really works. And it's like, holy cow, Triple H is friggin' smart because he knew China, he knew Eddie, knew how they both thought, how they both worked. And he's just got these two kids, and he's like, this is what I want you to do. This is how I want you to act. And it's freaking working. It's gold and it's hot, and the crowd is eating it up.
And it doesn't get much better than AJ Styles, Finn Balor, and I almost called him Punishment Martinez, but Priest. What is his first name?
Damian Priest.
Damian Priest. It doesn't get much better supporting cast than that. Those guys are all
Nope.
powerhouse talents.
Yep. And Eric is saying money. Yes, it is. Their shirts are selling as well. I look at the merchandise. I'm seeing what's number one, and definitely that Judgment Day shirt is definitely selling, and I guarantee it in a couple weeks you're going to see Dominic with his own t-shirt, and it's going to be Latino Heat 2 or something like that.
Yeah, it's going to be hot. It's going to be hot.
It's going to be a hot shirt, and people are going to be buying it, and that's why they moved Ray, because they had to definitely I said this a couple weeks ago, they had to separate Ray and because from Dominic to get him out from his father's shadow. It's just beautiful. It works. I'm digging it.
Yep, huge fan. And Brock Lesnar is going to be facing Bobby Lashley in what I've talked about, I think last year, as being the only match left that I care about seeing Brock Lesnar in against Bobby Lashley. So I'm hoping it's good because I really don't want to see any more Brock Lesnar. But if it's against Bobby Lashley, I'll make an exception.
My money's on Lashley. To believe,
I sure hope so, man. I hope so.
Yep. My money is on Lashley. Like I said earlier, I am digging Lashley. And wow, I just got a text message and it screwed me up. I'm just digging Lashley and Lesnar right now, what they're doing. I'm digging how Triple H ran out there, actually got between them, doing all the screaming and yelling. That is going to be, as JR would say, a slobber knocker. I'm not going to say a banger because neither one of them, they can both wrestle, but I think they're so large they just get in each other's way. It's not going to be. It's just going to be a slobber knocker. They're going to get in there, lock horns. It's going to be good.
All right,
It's
I'm with you on that, and I don't have to ask you who your money's on for this next one, but I think it's going to be worthwhile match to watch. Is a steel cage match with Drew
oof.
McIntyre and Karrion Kross with Scarlett at ringside.
That is Eric. Eric comes back and says a hoss fight. Yeah, definitely. That is going to be a hoss fight. I'm assuming it's Lesnar and Lashley.
Right.
The cage match, is it going to be Big Blue or is it going to be an actual steel cage? Where money lies, honor dies. So I'm gonna go with Drew. Once again, Drew and Cross is kind of like the Warrior and Savage for me when they wrestled. I don't know who to, Drew is my favorite. I gotta go with Drew, just like I had to go with Savage over the Warrior. It's really that hard for these two because Cross is just amazing, man. When he was Killer Cross, it was amazing, and it's crazy, But now it's kind of flipped, because Savage always had, Sherry, he had Elizabeth. Where you have Cross now. Now you have the Scottish Warrior, Drew McIntyre. So it's like, it's you know what I mean. It's flipped now. You had Savage. You see what I'm talking about? Or no,
I'm picking up what you're laying down, brother. I'm
okay. There you go. Thank you very much. I put things up. I put things down. Anyway, I'm going with Drew. Definitely going with Drew.
Well, let's go to the opposite side of the spectrum of Braun Strowman against Omos, which I couldn't care any less about at all for any reason, no matter what happens.
All right.
I imagine you're in a similar boat.
All right. If anything, my heart would be with Strowman. Story-wise, I'm going to go with Omos.
Okay.
Just to keep the story alive.
Let's kill it. And then Bianca Belair defending against Bayley, which I think will be outrageous.
It's going to be outrageous. I want Bayley to win.
I think she will. I think this is probably
I do
right
too.
time.
We were talking about it at dinner. This is the type of family that we have in the Perry household. We talk comics and wrestling at dinner. Rose would say, "How was everybody's day? Oh, it was crappy. Oh, it was great. How was this?" And if Katie's home, they'll talk soccer or football. Cody and I talk wrestling and comics. You can't have a better dinner conversation than that. But you ate dinner with us, Jack, so you know.
Yeah, it's a winner. I'm all about it. I'm in.
Yeah, so that Cody and I were talking about Bianca versus Bayley. I think we're both on the same page. And even when my other son is home, Neil's home, we talk about it all the time. I'm thinking Bayley better walk out of there with the title because I was shocked that Bayley did not win at Extreme Rules. I was very shocked. My money was on Bayley, and I was shocked.
Yep. Okay. Well, we're both with Bayley on this one. I think it makes sense for her to win it. And then we have the Usos against the Brawling Brutes. Little alliteration for you there. Eric Hunting said that's our dinner conversation. Also, Eric, we love it. I don't know. What do you think? Usos aren't going to lose to the Brawling Brutes, right?
No, we the ones, Us. Yeet. Yeet.
Did you just say yeet?
Yeet.
Don't ever say yeet.
It's funny when Neil comes home, he looks at Rose and goes, "Mama," and Rose goes, "What, son?" He goes, "We the ones." And he just walks on. That's every time Neil comes home, we the ones.
All right.
Yeah, it's gonna be the Usos. The Usos against the Brawling Brutes for sure.
All right, the Brawling Boots. All right,
the Brawling Brutes. I said.
Well, we're almost out of time, so I don't know if we're gonna have any more time for comments, but we'll see about Crown Jewel. It's at noon, so if you're waiting till 8 p.m., it'll be over by then. So make sure you keep in mind the starting time because they are in Saudi Arabia. Hopefully, everyone makes it back to America on time for Monday Night Raw.
All right, before we go, Jack, can I play a quick ad really quick?
Oh, please do.
All right, we're going to be back in 1 minute, 32 seconds, and then we're going to find where you guys can buy some art for the holidays. We'll see you in 1 minute, 32 seconds. And we are back. And yeah, Rhode Island Comic Con this weekend. Angry Geeks, we're going to be live, hanging and banging, just having a blast. So make sure if you're going to be at Rhode Island Comic Con, come by, say hi, win a prize, and just hang out. That's right, with me, Jamie, and Quinderella, aka Emily. Jack.
Right.
Holidays.
And by the way, Quinderella and Jamie, Lewis did remember to get me the message. Just saying. I want to make sure I stick up for him.
Mark.
Right.
For Mark. Pod TV. Yes.
Yep. So just he did it. And it didn't take any prodding. So just wanted to stick up for our boy here.
Yeah, and Mark, if you're watching, I gave him a message. So there you go. Faces and Heels pretty soon, international on Pod TV as well.
You'll sound so good in Spanish.
I know. Well, African,
and German, and African,
and German, and African, and I forget what else.
French,
maybe Russian, French,
Russian.
Yep, and man, we're just international. And it's like I really so badly want to like watch because like I want to see like my voice talking a different language because I think it's just gonna blow my mind. Right. I think that it's going to be so cool because then they're going to also have subtitles on the bottom. And when Mark was explaining it to us even more last night, it was just crazy. We were live streaming on Roku and Amazon last night for our Halloween special. And it was just like, amazing to find out that we were live streaming international. Just going through people's television sets instead of computers. It was just great. Jack, we are at the 8:00 mark. Please tell everyone with the holidays around where you can get terrific artwork as a holiday prize.
Yes, the holidays are coming up. If you need a one-of-a-kind piece of original art, you can hit me up at Jack Purcell Inc. on Instagram and Facebook. I'm Jack Purcell 38 on Twitter, and you can find me on Patreon if you search Jack Purcell. Let me know. My commission list is limited, so if you're interested, please hit me up ASAP, and I can get that for you before the holidays. And you could find us at Faces and Heels on Facebook, Faces and Heels Podcast on Instagram, and we're also on TikTok.
And wherever your favorite podcast is found, just go there, subscribe to the Angry Geeks Network, look for Faces and Heels. They're right there. You got to look for it. Click on it, subscribe to the Angry Geeks Network, and you can find all of the Faces and Heels podcasts. Plus, you can find the Angry Geek stuff too. There you go, right there. See, there it is. Look at that. Just click on it, and you can find it. And yes, Brother Joe, I will see you this weekend. I'll be there. I will be there Thursday to drop off all the video cameras for every panel room. We are stacked and jacked this weekend. Nothing is going to get by us. So anyway, I'm Lewis. That's Jack. You can find me every Monday night with that Wonder Woman, Jamie Dolan, and Emily Quinderella, streaming live on Pod TV, the Angry Geeks Network, and all through social media. And every Tuesday night with my brother from another mother, the one and only, my tag team partner like no other. We bust through ceilings and break down doors. Ink slinging Jack Purcell. I'm Lewis. That's Jack. We are the Faces and Heels podcast. We'll see you guys next week. See ya.